right. Gonna give this a few minutes. Let people filter in and make sure I can hear myself. And also I'm gonna bump up the font size. Yep, that's my voice. Okay, cool. Alright, so it looks, first of all, it looks like chat's not working today. And so just to be real clear about that, I'm looking at chat. It's just over here. So I'm going to take that out of the stream just to not confuse people. So bye-bye. It's still visible. It's all on YouTube. You can find it. And it looks like we've got a question of what's going on today. So let's start with that. In the previous two videos, we set up all of the data that we need for pulling in every little piece of information that's on this screen. And right now, probably the coolest information that we'd be able to grab from this is just the trade history. So all these trades completing. And actually, this is a really, I mean, we just saw a lot of stuff come in over there, so we're really going to be, I guess, both stress testing Android and sort of just GDAX's API and WebStream stuff just to see if we can pull in all this data. So right now, we're pulling in all these orders, all this trade history into 5 separate databases. And we're going to start with today pulling out just this trade history section over here and displaying it, I guess, just like this maybe. Actually, that would be kind of a cool challenge, especially with, I mean, you can kind of see some of these red, like it's a little thicker, so we've got some interesting elements that we could try to do. So I think it'd be interesting today just to try and get this trade history section completed as a UI component, which seems challenging right now, but we'll see how we do. Alright, so get that over there. And let's get off of a less busy screen. That's going to be super distracting. And also, I've been pushing updates to GitHub after each day. So if you want to pull down the project as it is now, or how it is after today, just wait till after the stream, and I'll have a new commit in there. And you can just play around with it however you'd like. So to start off with today, there's one thing that I'd like to refactor right off the bat, and it's this stuff. I just want to have some fun with Kotlin and see if we can pull this and this into one thing, because there's obviously a bunch of repeated code here, and so let's pull that out. So up here, I'm going to make a method, and let's call it for every message. I guess you could go for every order, but technically these are messages, not orders. Maybe we should rename those. But anywho, so for every message, and then in here, let's copy this section, and using the middle mouse button, if I middle mouse click and drag over, I can just grab some of it. You know, you don't have to grab the whole line, so I can just copy this section, and then we're gonna have, and that's not worked out that well, but that's okay. And so we've got these guys. And what do you want? Okay, so then we've got with that, and we need the brackets. And then what we want to have is different functionality coming in here. So let's put in a function up here. So I'll just call it thing for now, and we can just define that as an empty unit to that, I think. No, it's unit to this, right? Or is it the other way around? Might be the other way around. Right, because it's a function that returns unit. Okay, yeah, so we're going to pass in a function that returns nothing. Unit just means nothing in Kotlin. It's basically void. So then in here, we're just going to call it.thing. Or not it, I mean this, right? Or, yeah, this. This.thing. So what do we have in here? This is received orders DAO, which has a delete method, right? but are these all from another class? Because what we want to do is pull something general in here so we can just say the same method each time. And with that we would do, let's look at one of these. They're in the data folder here. Yeah, and so these, while they have the same methods, they don't actually inherit from the same base class. So I might not actually be able to do what I wanted to do here. But let's see. Right, because we'd want to pass in here, it'd actually be a function like let's say that this was from an orders DAO base class that all of these extended from. Then what we could do is come up in here and call this an orders DAO extension function, and then in here you would be able to call this dot orders DAO and call this method on each of these orders DAO objects. And you just be able to have this code in here, and you can pass in whatever method you want to call on these things. We could get rid of this duplication. And so it kind of a roadblock in refactoring that, so I'm going to get rid of that. And we'll just leave it for now. I'm pretty sure that we could still refactor this in a way that we can not duplicate all this code. But more importantly, I want to do the UI stuff. That's the cool stuff. That's what we want to do in this video. So let's not do that refactoring. Let's get back in here to our recycler view. And let's start working. So first thing we need in the recycler view is an adapter. So let's get adapter, apt adapter equals, and we'll call it my adapter. And then create this class. Can we create that in a new file? Let's just do it up here. So new compiler class, my adapter. And I like to use the my prefix just to help get myself going, because I get really bogged down in naming things the right way. So just having a rule like that helps to get moved on. Alright, so we've got my adapter, and that needs to extend recycler view dot adapter, which is going to take in a view holder, which is going to be my adapter dot view holder, I think. Let's see, so class view holder, and this extends recycler view dot view holder, right? Yeah. Then we can do that, and then we can probably alt enter to fix these things for the most part. What's the constructor? What else do you need here? Public implement. So it's got to implement the methods, of course, so let's do those. You need all three of them, even if you don't use them all. Alright. And, okay, so first I'm going to set this up how I know how to set it up, and then we might look back at using view model and some live data stuff. Just off the bat, I'm not familiar enough, I haven't used those enough yet, that I think that would make interesting programming. So just be a lot of me falling into traps, which happens, but it's not interesting. So, get item count. So we need an item in here that's going to hold our trades. So let's just call this val trades, and it is going to be a mutable list of, and might refactor this later, but let's check in here on our trade history. We need trade size, price, time. Alright, so let's make a data class. Data class called trade, and it's going to have a val of price, or rather it was size first, which is float. Then it has a val of price, which is also a float. And then it has, what was the last one, time, which, I don't know. Oh man, time's going to be really frustrating to deal with, but let's call it a string for now. Let's call this a long, because I'd like this to be an epoch time, so milliseconds since January 1st, 1970 is the easiest way to deal with time, but unfortunately we're going to get it as, probably a time, which we'll have to format and figure out what to do with. And if we get the time as a string, that's sort of inherently hard to compare with, and since our trade history needs to be ordered by the time, it's just going to be frustrating. until I find the right class to deal with it, of course. All right, so we've got trades, which is going to be a mutable list of trades. And since this is a class, I should capitalize that. So Shift F6 to refactor trade. Oh, and actually, that reminds me. Yeah, refactor it. What are you complaining about? Yeah, you need to equal something. So mutable list of. And actually, when you're doing it this way, we can move this. We can get rid of this because you don't ever need to tell it what type it is unless it can't figure it out. So right here, if you just say mutable list of, it can't figure out what type it is. But if you say mutable list of, and then you put trade over here, it's happy. So this, again, just shorter than doing it this way. Same thing, just shorter. Cool. And then another thing that I just remembered is Craig reminded me of a plugin that's really cool. So I'm going to grab that guy. Actually, we need to type in plugin here. So that's Control-Shift-A, bring up plugins menu, or bring up the search menu there, and then I type in plugins, get to plugins, and I can type in Preza, and then search, and it'll give me Presentation Assistant. I can hit install. Cool, and then we'll restart Android Studio, and this should be pretty quick, assuming I clicked that button, right? Yeah. And then once Android Studio comes back, anytime I hit a shortcut or a button or anything like that, it's going to tell you what shortcut that is on the screen and show you the shortcut. So easy way for me to not have to be in charge of just saying out all the shortcuts. And let me check over here and the messages. So, are you planning a course on Kotlin at Team Treehouse? Yes, there is a course on Kotlin, Kotlin for Java developers, where you learn by making the back end of a solitaire app, so sort of a headless solitaire app. You could kind of play it in the command line. And then there's a second course for that, which uses the Anko library to make the UI for that course in Android. And we're going to do more with Kotlin, but that's all there is right now. Though, in my opinion, it's one of the best ways to learn Kotlin right now, because it's really a nice motivating course, because you're making a nice, cool solitaire app, and then it just covers all the stuff in a nice, tight, compact, and exciting way. Cool. So, when are we getting a full stack Android development with Kotlin on Treehouse? Jeffrey, what do you mean by full stack Android development there? Is that like working with a team, or I guess I'm not sure if I follow there, so if you could clarify a little bit, that'd be really cool. Then, yeah, hey Ben, I'm new to this live stream. Could you just run the app and show once? Yeah, sure. It doesn't do anything right now, but it is still good to show that. I agree with you. And what we should be seeing if we run the app is a button, and pretty much just a button, because all we've covered is the database stuff. So we're pulling in, and actually let me pull over to the API docs real quick. So, come down here, WebSocket feed, messages. So we're pulling in all the messages from the WebSocket feed. So received, open, done, match, and change messages. So we're pulling in all those and storing them in 5 different databases. And that's pretty much all we've done right now, is pull the messages in from a WebSocket feed and put them into 5 separate databases. And given us tools to kind of read back the messages. Oh, and of course this isn't going to run because this is not finished. So we could just comment this out. Inactivity. Are you going to make me comment that out too? Probably. Just comment that out, and then we'll be able to run it. Awesome. Niemat says video quality is good, and that makes me really happy because it has not been. It's been difficult. And can I make a live stream on TensorFlow and Android? I would love to. I don't know much about TensorFlow, unfortunately, so that would take me a while to get up to speed, but that is one of the things that I'm interested in. So, yeah, and the TensorFlow stuff at Google I/O was really cool too. All their machine learning stuff, it's just nuts. Lots of fun. It'd be really fun to get into, but you know, machine learning's a bit challenging and time-consuming as well. So here's the app. We've got a button, and that's it. And if you click the button, which is right here, button on click, then we open a new thread, and we're going to grab all the orders from all of our 5 tables, and for each order, we're going to log the order. And this E method right here is just an extension method on the log, or on any, which is basically object in Java. And we log E, the name of the class, plus something to make it easy to find in the log, and then whatever we decided to log. So E is just an easy way for us to log from anywhere and anything. I log to the error instead of like debug or info or whatever, just because it's easier to see, and filtering by error just gives you a list to look at. Okay, so then let's hit this button actually and see what happens. So we click the button, and oh, I guess we're too late. Oh, we're searching for match there. There we go. So here we go. Tons of orders. These are a lot of done orders, open orders. Yeah. So that's what the app does right now. And we're going to take this data, and I think we're taking all the match orders, I think would be the ones that are completed. Let's see, if we type in match, and let's click this button again, it should still be running. Nope, no match orders yet, but I think match orders are the ones we're going to be looking for to pull in there, so we should test that there are match orders first. That would be a good idea. So from Jeffrey, so when are we getting Treehouse tutorials from scratch on building Android apps? So this, I guess this series is from scratch, but also in Treehouse, just regular Treehouse, we start from the very beginning and go all the way to the end. So you can learn whatever you want about Android on Treehouse. This is more of a sort of a watching it being made sort of thing. So the stuff on Treehouse proper is more refined, and you don't have to watch for so long to get things to happen. And to dphoenix, yes, definitely architecture components courses are coming into Treehouse, and this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this live coding session, is because one of the things I do before I learn anything or before I present it at Treehouse is I need to use it. I need to have an app that does that. And so this is both, you kind of get to watch me kind of figure it out and use the architecture component stuff in this app, and as well as it's my way to figure it out so that I can teach it better when I write the course later on down the line. Okay, so back to Recycler View. Actually, so we've got these, let's click this. We want to get a match order shown because that's the ones we've got, and we were seeing them at the end of last week for sure. So let's see, 1017, that's right. And if I click this, we should see a bunch more, right? Yep. And a bunch of done orders, and open orders, received orders, but no matched orders. Well, we were definitely getting, oh, these are all canceled. Huh. That's interesting. So we were definitely getting matched orders last time. Let's not worry about that too much right now. Let's get back to our Recycler View before we lose our train of thought on that guy. So I'm going to uncomment this, and then okay, so there we see down here. That's a shame that it's really too small font. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but see, I just hit Control-Tab to pull up the switcher, and it's telling you down here, switcher is Control-Tab or Control-Tab on Mac. So Control-Tab to switch to my adapter. Comment with line comment, I guess, is Control/. Alright, so we've got our trades, which is a mutable list of trade. And then here, item count, we don't need these brackets or even this int part. We can just equal trades dot size or length, whichever it is. It's size. Okay, cool. Then on create view holder, parent is not going to ever be null, 'cause you've got to have somewhere that you're putting this. So I think we can take that off. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think parent should be null. Holder shouldn't be null either. And then here we need to take in a view. So let's give our view holder, it's going to take in a view, which is a view. And then we just need to pass that view into here. So it's the same way you do it in Java, just, alright, you happy yet? Okay, cool. Just a little nicer because it's in Kotlin. Then in here, we want to put like an update method, so fun update. And did it really call tab a shortcut? Yeah, look at that, tab is a shortcut. Alright, so update, and we want to say what we want to update it to, so it would be likely a new trade. choose a lookup item via enter. Yeah, great. Can't believe that's a shortcut. Yeah, so then up here, then end the view holder. Now we need our view. And so just to get this started, I think let's do it in Anko. Is I think the way we want to do this. So here we need to return our view holder of some view, which we have yet to define. Right? Cool. So then that makes that happy. And then on bind view holder, we are going to call holder dot update and pass in the trades at position trades at whatever position this is. And then we'll just pass the trade in here, and then we'll update the view holder. Piece of cake. Cool, so then we've got on create view holder. We need to create the view holder. So for starters, let's go with a horizontal linear layout, and we'll just print the numbers off before we get to something more complicated. Though ideally, if we get there, since it looks like I still got 90 minutes left, so that'd be awesome, be able to do just exactly what it is here with the red and the colors and all that stuff. All right, so let's grab parent. So we need a context to be able to do anything with Anko. So parent gives us a context, which means, let's say val view equals with parent. Maybe I'm just kind of spitballing here. We'll see if this works. So inside here we'll have the context. We'll be in the parents. We should be able to do like linear layout, right? Yes. All right. So linear layout. And again, so without being inside, so if we do this like this, no linear layout like that. So this special Anko linear layout, I mean, you can only put a linear layout in something. It has to be in a context of some sort. You've got to have it in the view group or in your main screen or something. You can't just put it anywhere. So that's why we've got to do this with stuff. Which again, this is just actually we could just do it like this, I think, right? Oh, layout. Yeah, so let's try it like this. I don't know that it might be helpful to have the parent and scope in here, but we can always bring it back if we need it. Okay, so we've got the linear layout, the view holder, and in here we just need a bunch of text views. So let's get this one and put in text view, and we'll give this one an ID of 1. And so you need them to have IDs because you need to be able to find them down here in the update method, or of the view holder. You need to be able to figure out which text view is which. Now, if you're doing this in XML, your IDs would be like r.id. Whatever the name of the text view is, and we can do that here too. We just have to store that ID somewhere, which you can totally do. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just a lot easier to just use 1, 2, and 3, because behind the scenes, all your IDs that you create and layouts are just integers anyway. So as long as we use unique numbers here. And only unique to this view too. It doesn't need to be unique to the whole project. We should be able to do this because when it looks for the view, it's only going to be looking inside that view group. So as long as this is the only ID 1 inside this linear layout or the larger view group from here, then we're going to be totally fine. So in here we'll get the text views, and let's do the first one is size text view. And this is equals find, which I think is a shortcut from Anko, maybe? View.find, right? Yeah. But you need to put the type in here, so text view, and then 1. Then we can Control D to duplicate those lines, give us a 3 and a 2. Then do, what is this one? Delete that. Click to get rid of the double wide cursor. Then we've got price and time. Then when we update in here, we'll set size text view dot text equals trade dot size. then price text view, and time text view, and trade.size. Oh, it's complaining because they're the red. These are not strings, which is true. They are not strings. We don't need long. We need the word time. So dot toString. Somewhat frustrating that that's not sort of a default, but I guess the warning is nice. That's what you would expect. So I guess I'm not frustrated anymore. I take that back. Okay, so all of this looks good. We've got our adapter. It's attached to our recycler view, which also needs a layout manager. Layout manager equals linear layout manager. Yeah. Oh, and then what do I put in here? So context, so this, then an orientation, so probably from the linear layout class, right? So linear layout, or rather from linear layout manager, and then I'm looking for an orientation here, I guess. Ah, sweet, horizontal. Nope. Vertical. And then reverse layout, so false. Don't reverse it. I think that would make it go right to left or left to right. Also, it's complaining on this here because this is our recycler view and not the activity. So let's do this at main activity. There we go. So now we're passing in the activity. So let's take a quick recap of recycler views. Recycler view. And before I run it, this is awfully risky because it hasn't even worked yet. But recycler view, we have an adapter that we have to create and a layout manager. The layout manager can be vertical, horizontal. You could use a grid layout manager as well to do more columns or whatever. So layout manager and adapter, two parts of the recycler view. Inside the adapter, you've got to have your data and a view holder. And you just have to manage updating all of them. As well as you've got to set whatever view you want the view holder to be, which we could do something more complicated later. But for now, this totally cuts it. And again, this is like the main reason to use Anko here, is because even though this isn't necessarily going to be the finished product, and we might make the finished product using a constraint layout and the design view and all the goodness of XML, but just for prototyping, I mean, you can't get any faster than this. Maybe you can, but I don't know how. All right, so let's run this, and what's going to happen? Nothing, because we have not done any data into trades. So let's cheat a little bit, and maybe we'll mock some trades first. So a list of trades, we can do a trade that is 1.0, 2. Yeah, sure, F, F, and then 100L. You accept lowercase l's? No. Is it okay if I don't put an L? Yeah. Okay, so we'll just put one trade in there, and just to make sure that the recycler view is all set up, everything's working. Because actually, now that I think of it, without putting any parameters on this, like match or whatever, it might just be too small. Unless wrap parent actually works. We'll see. Any minute now. Okay, so yep, it is there. We can see our little line right there behind the button, but since this is a relative layout, the button is below the recycler view, so let's just give this an ID of 1 and really thoroughly test my thoughts on IDs being reusable if they're outside of the same thing. And then this button, would it be, let's type below here and see if this is the spot to do it. No. Okay, so it's a layout, yeah, that makes sense. It'd be a layout parameter. So here, button, this is the closing tag for button. So we're going to type .lp and look for lparams. Cool. Then an lparams, and here you can put your width and your height. So you could do like match parent and wrap content. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, so you could do that, or you can just leave it blank and it'll be both wrap content, which is what we're looking for. So we'll not use that and just put these brackets. And then inside here you can define all the layout properties of your view. So whenever you're looking in XML, and since we don't have a layout directory for this one, it's a little hard to look at. Oh, oh yeah, I did put a layout in here to make something just quickly, but I don't. Let's see if we've got something in here. Aha, so layout width, layout height. These things that start with layout, these are layout parameters. They're not inherent to the view. You know, it's not a property of the linear layout that it is match parent. It's more the other way around. It's like the parent of this guy is saying, no, you match me, be as big as I am. And so lparams is where you put that sort of stuff. So inside this button, this is where you put stuff inherent to the button. So like the onClick method is to the button, and like the text of the button is for the button. Click me. It's like this sort of stuff, or the text color, or the color of the button, anything inherent to the button goes inside these brackets. But if it's more of a layout parameter of the button, you know, not something inherent to the button, then it's going to come out here. So what we want to put down here is probably layout below, or just below. Looks like that works. So below, and then 1. And then let's run this. And that should put our button below our recycler view, and it should have now a text of click me. Cool, so looking over at chat, Jeffrey asks, when is full Android development with Kotlin going to be available on Treehouse? Not very soon. So if we were to redo the entire catalog in Kotlin, that would take a really long time. So it's kind of, we're working slowly to get more Kotlin content out, or really not slowly, I mean as fast as we can, but there's just so much existing Android content, you can't just get it all to Kotlin that fast. Though the 2 Kotlin courses that exist are really good, and if you already know Android, that should be about all you know to get started, or all you need to go to get started with Kotlin. But yeah, we're re-looking at a lot of the courses and looking to bring Kotlin in a lot bigger way, as probably most people are, because that announcement was huge. And is there a performance cost to using Anko and recycler views? I'm gonna say no, but with an asterisk that for a lot of things that we do in Android, there might be performance costs if you're using, you know, either your app is like, I don't know, doing some big data science stuff, or if you're running on hardware that's just not a very, like if you're running on a really old phone or a cheaper phone, something that's not got a lot of power behind it, would probably be more of a concern. So I don't think there's any meaningful degradation from using Anko. And Anko is provided by IntelliJ. The library is by the people who make Kotlin. So, I mean, actually right here. And I don't mean IntelliJ, I mean JetBrains, sorry. So it's not something that's just from, you know, some guy making a library. So I guess I trust that they're not doing anything untoward, is kind of the answer to that question. And then, did we look at this? Alright, yeah, so we got that. It says click me, and it's all caps. I think we could change that somehow, but I'm okay. Alright, let's click in here, see what we get. You know, it might be doing too much work on its main thread. That's true. Because printing all of this out is a ton of stuff. Open received. Yikes. Oh, did we have a failure? That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome. Failures are not awesome, but the fact that we're not getting matched orders is worrisome, and I'd like that to be because something is broken, because that means there's something to fix. Alright, so let's run this again, and will we get an error when it runs here? Yep, that's a lot of data. Oh, there, we saw some matches. Okay. Right, so if I search for... Oh, and an error. No value for funds. Nice. But first, let me type in matched so we can prove there were some matches. Woohoo! So cool. Fix the error, put matches into the UI. Let's fix the error first. So it says no value for funds. And this message, I believe... is printing out as we go. So it should be and message parser, right? Do we print in here? No. So let's, and here's a cool thing. We can just grab this method here and Control B, jump to the, and there we go, message. So where was this? This was in the WebSocket. So we're printing the message and then we read the message. So above this line of the error should be the one that errored. So we have a type of received and no value for funds. Okay, why does it want funds? Let's go to message parser, which parses the message. So remember alright, that's an awfully big Slack message. So remember we read the message, we figure out what type of message it is, and then we pass it to the right method to parse it, or to figure it out. Which is weird that we've used message here and then the other place we've got order, but okay. So this is a received message, so let's Control B to jump to that, which is, I mean, it's just at the bottom of the class. I guess I didn't need to do that. And it says we do not have funds. So if order type is limit, so what order type do we have here? Order type is market. Okay, so market, so else funds as string is going to be funds. So it's erroring out right here. So this is where we're not getting our funds value. So for some reason, this market order does not have funds. So let's check out the API reference and see if that's what it's supposed to be. It was a received order. It was received at the top. It was. So received, market, with funds. Weird. Okay. Market orders may, oh darn it, market orders may have an optional funds field, which indicates how much quote currency, what does that mean, will be used to buy or sell. Okay, so the funds field is optional. So let's make that optional. So now, if the order type is limit, okay, so let's just do it this way then. Instead of doing it like that, we'll just hit enter here so we can keep that to look at. We'll just do, if there's a funds field, give us the funds field. So if JSON.contains, is contains it? No. JSON.has. So if JSON.has funds, then we'll use JSON funds as string, else nothing. And then that should do the same thing as before, but be a little stronger in the case where there's a market order with no funds. So let's run this, and then this should not give us errors. We should have lots of market orders, and then we should be able to update our recycler view to take in these new orders. Alright, we're running. Got this guy. Messages coming through in a big way. Seen some matched. Okay, let that run for like 5 more seconds, and then that's got to be enough, right? Yeah, that looks good to me. So I'm going to stop this right now. And then let's comment out that message, because that's actually going to slow down our run times, just to keep logging all of that. And then, cool, so we've got that. Now let's get back to that UI. So in here, in the adapter, we need this trades to be updated with what's coming in from the matched table. So we need to be updated when the match table gets a change. I wonder, is that a live data instance? Let's. Okay, so main activity here. Orders DAO. Is there, I'm gonna search for like listener. Room listeners. Oh boy, that's probably gonna give us apps. Oh no, awesome. Okay, so we need to figure out a way to get the room data to update the trades list in our adapter. And we could do this, manually by just pinging the database and pulling it into our trades, but there's got to be a better way to do this, presumably, right? So Android, I feel like live data is the word I want to use for this. So live data, it keeps a value and allows this value to be observed. I don't know that I want it to be observed. I want it to be, I guess observed is the right word, but don't want to get us going down this path if it's not the way to go. Alright, let's look at what they've got under here for room. Yeah, I like room too. You've got all this stuff. Let's see, what do we got? Primary key, integration, testing. Okay, well, I'm just going to do something that I know is going to work. Oh, observable queries. What does that do? Haha! Did I find it? That sounds good. When performing queries, you'll often want your app's UI to update automatically when the data changes. I do, that's what I want! To achieve this, use a return value of type live data in your query method description. Okay, I'm excited. Let's try this. Nice, this is exactly what I want to get out of this too, learning all the room and live data stuff that I need to know. So this is not, there's not a lot here. I don't know what to do with that yet, but that's okay. Alright, so we're starting with match orders. So is this in our DAO? Yes, so I'm going to Control B to jump into here, Control B to jump into the DAO, and let's just give a new query at the top. So @query. And it looks like we want this to be like the load users from regions. I don't know what, okay, I guess they use sync in there, so let's call it. We'll do the same thing here for match orders. Oh, wait, we have the sequence column. Haha, we can use, so earlier I was concerned about time being difficult to order by, but we don't have to order by time. We have sequence, which is just an integer list of what order things come in. So when we get to the ordering part, we can order by sequence, which I guess we can do here. Sweet. Ordery by. Nope, just order by would be fine. Okay, so then this is a function called load matches? Sure. Load matched orders. Load matched orders, sync. They said sync, I'll say sync. And what it takes in is nothing. Right. And it returns a live data of a list of match orders. Right? Yeah. I don't know what to do with this yet though. But let's, so yeah, and you can do the same thing with RxJava. So room, no, let's go Android room live data. So I'm looking for an example where somebody's already done this. They've just written the code. I just have to look at it and paste it over here. Because it shouldn't be too difficult what I'm trying to do. So they've got the model, got that. The date converter. So they've got this get all borrowed items method, which is a live data, so let's check that out. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be created for our DAO. Shouldn't that be down here somewhere? This is not... It doesn't even tell me where that's getting called. That's not very helpful. Huh. Okay, oh wait, was that it? Oh well. Stack Overflow is usually a better way to go anyway. Shindao, so do you have a live data that you're... Yep, you sure do. And you're doing it in Kotlin. That's an even better match. So... Alright, let's, I guess let's just go for it here. Let's go in here. And we'll just sort of cheat our way along a little bit. Just copy that for now. Bring it over into the adapter. So we get... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give this one more shot with Google. See if the docs... Okay, fine. Okay, that's what we'll try to do. I like that. That works. Let's make a new class. And... Java, and here. Kotlin class. And let's do matched orders live data. Okay, that's the way to go. This extends live data of matched orders, or match order rather. Alright. Which one's constructor? Then in here, calling this method updates the value of the live data instance and notifies active observers about the change. That does not make it clear to me how we should pull this across. Vaults, result that guy. Live data room, the Android, we'll just pull that one up again. We've already pulled that up, but did we already look at that one? Nope, that's a different one. Oh, wait. Ah, there was a sample there too, that looked good. Huh, this might be a good picture. A database and a repository. Get started with room. Yep, we've done that. Room has been started. Okay, now we're not using daggers, we don't have any modules. Okay, so this is exactly what we're looking for, so I'm optimistic, because we are looking to get automatic database updates. So it creates an activity and a fragment, and it gives us a recycle view with an adapter and a view holder, as you have to do. Then, okay, alright, is that it? Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So you can easily get a reference to the events database and observe events from the database when new items are added. So let's delete this class. So close it over here, delete you, bye-bye. And yes, we did need, so my adapter looks like, I'm just gonna cut these out. And here's a cool tidbit, so we can, what did I just click? New Kotlin file class. I'm gonna make an app class. Oh, actually, we'll do it, I think. Yeah, I'm changing my mind. That's going to take too long. So we could get DB to be just. Oh, don't undo that. To just be available as like just Kotlin available as outside it. So in package scope, it just be available wherever we go. But we can also just pass it into our adapter. Then add the parameter. Yeah, you're all good. You got it, adapter. Control B to jump to the adapter. Alright, now we've got a DB and our adapter, and we need to do this stuff. So we would do, and I guess I'll just write it right here for now, just because I need somewhere to write it. DB dot, wait, shouldn't I have more options from that? What, have I messed up if I don't have more options? Huh? App database. So if it's an app database, it should have these things, for sure. So, where were we? DB dot match orders DAO. Okay, val, that's what you wanted. Yeah, okay, so match orders DAO dot observe. No, dang it. Why can we not observe that? Alright, let's type observe. SQL observer. Let's look at their event DAO. Extends room database. It's just got, yeah, what? Update, insert, query. Just the interface. Query gives the live data. Where does that observe come from? Alright, let's jump into their source code here. Figure this out. Not the test. Well, wait, was it a test? There was a lot of stuff in there. Okay, so let's look for just that piece of code that we want. Search this repository. Right there. Wait, what? What? How did I search for this and it's not here? Get events. Oh, it doesn't even. That's not even there. What? Oh man. All right. Android live data room observe DAO. Maybe that'll get it. Okay. Neat. Okay, so it looks like we're going to want to get into view model as well, but just since we want to do maybe one small testable thing at a time, and by testable I mean by running it, not by writing tests, because we just don't have time for that. It'd be much too boring. Then let's try to make the activity. We'll get rid of that. We'll come back to the activity. This is getting a little busy. I'm going to close these. Start from scratch on my tabs. Main activity. All right. So let's make this a lifecycle activity. Everybody's cool with that? Okay, works. Then can we just come in here anywhere really. db.matchOrdersDAO.observe. Is that like, yeah, I don't know that I'm following this entirely. If you are calling from directly activity, your activity must extend lifecycle activity. Check. Oh, I gotta get the thing first. So get all.observe. No. So it maybe needs to be specifically the live data thing. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Yes! We did it! Alright. I wonder if I could have done that in the other place. My adapter. What do you think? Can you observe here? You can! Woohoo! Though it does require a lifecycle owner, so let's just keep it in the activity and we can always refactor later. Alright, so observe. And we'll use this. And that. Cool. What does this need to be? This needs to be, that's a complicated thing. It's an observer of a list of match orders. So, just put this on a new line. Observer. Is that it? Oh, cool. So let's actually do it like observer. Do like that. Cool. Then, and here, presumably this is already overriding the onChanged method by showing me brackets. So let's just type, let's log an error of hello. And in my website we are not logging this message. We should be able to see hello. Let's see what happens. So it should be kind of the same as logging over here, except we're just going to log hello every time we have a match. Hopefully. This is really cool. So it's working. I'm tickled. Alright, so that worked. And that worked really well. Alright, so in here we've got our orders. So we need to add the orders to trades. So let's grab this guy and put it down here. We can. This is a little cheeky, but we want to get our. I'm using my hand like you guys can see, but we want to get this to be a list, first, and then we can refactor it. Sort of like hack your way through the bushes and then you build the road. So adapter dot. Do I need to make you public? Yeah. Public. Adapter dot trades. Right? Why will you not let me grab my trades list? Adapter, which is a recycler view adapter. No, it should be a my adapter. Is that really the issue here? Oh, wait a minute. Yes, it is the issue because this. Okay, so this adapter right here. This is us setting the adapter property of the recycle view. This is not. We don't have access to this guy. So what we need to do is. I suppose we can do it right before here. We can do our val my adapter equals my adapter. Put that guy down there. Then if we use my adapter, we have trades, and we didn't need to make it public or make trades a function. Okay, so then we've got trades, that, and we need to change this to be at main activity. Let's give us some room. Dot trades dot add. What do we get in here? What is this? What are you? You're a recycle view. What is it? It is a list of match orders. Okay, so add it. No. Oh, right, we need to turn those to trades. So let's call val, why not, trades equals, okay, this is, I'm going to try to do a little Kotlin magic or functional stuff. So it dot map trade, which is going to be a new trade for each one. It, which is now match order dot size, float dot, is it parse string? Float dot what is it to get a string to a float? Kotlin parse float. Or long. That works. Too long. And it's always something really, really nice and simple that I haven't thought of. Okay, so to float. Then we need to get that and that. So it's size, price, time, which is a long. What kind of time do we get for this anyway? So let's print out it first so we can see just all the trades coming through. And that's probably what I should have printed the first time instead of hello. That would have been more interesting to look at. And that'll be able to inform us about what sort of decisions we need to make in here. Did you run? Yep, so time. Wait, does this list just keep getting longer? Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, did that one start getting shorter again? If it keeps getting longer, that's an issue, because we don't... Well, actually, it's not necessarily... I mean, it is an issue, but we can make it work like that. It's just inefficient. We can make it work like this and go from there. Yeah, but it's just an inefficient way to do it, and we'll have to fix it later. But I'm just looking for a time here. Yes, it's a string. Yeah, and I don't feel like parsing that string right now, so let's change time to be a string. That's what we're going to do. Just because I really want to get something showing on the screen, and... you know, let's not, don't need to fix everything before we can do that. Alright, so we've got this, it.time, that gives us a trade map. So if it is not null, so if there are trades, or if there is a list of match orders here, there, so that's what it is. So if that is not null, then trades, and so check this out. So for each, what this does is for each match order, it maps it to a trade. So what this takes is this list of match orders, and it turns it into a list of trades. I hope we can check this quickly by doing a list of trades and seeing what we get. Yeah, cool. And so see, it's happy about that. So this is a list of trades. And so that's just a really cool way that we can just real quickly go from a list of matched orders to a list of trades just on one line. So then myAdapter.trades, and since this is giving us every single trade, instead of adding the trades, well, I guess we will add the trades. Since we've declared this as a val, we can't reset it. Like, we can't set it equal to anything. Won't let us, it's a val. But what we can do is we can do myAdapter.trades.clear to empty it, and then we can do .add all, right? Add all and trades. And that should work. And the reason we need to do this is because currently our load matched orders sync method from, I guess we can just do that. This guy, it returns all the matched orders. So it's not only returning the new ones, it's returning all of them. So if we added all of them to our list, and then the next time we got a new order, we added all of them again, we'd have a lot of duplicate orders there. So for now, we're just going to do it this way. And then let's run this and see what happens. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to run, just because there are so many things coming through, but we should be able to see our list once and for all. Oh, and we should log this too, so we can see. Let's do this. Right, and then myAdapter.notify. Yeah, you gotta call notify as well. And we're logging that, so we'll be able to see if we're getting anything there. Hey, look at that. Those are some orders. Yep. All right, so now let's change this a bit to be from here instead. So our new orders going to the top. No. Ordered by sequence descending. Maybe that'll change it, because we want new orders at the top, old orders at the bottom. And new orders is going to be a higher sequence number than the older orders. So once we get this top order here, we'll want to make sure that that has changed. So 0.588 should change whenever the next update comes. Right? Yeah! Alright! So that's a lot of stuff. And presumably if I'll just leave this open while I keep coding, but since this is going to keep adding more and more matched orders, or I guess we could call them trades at this point because that's what they are, it's going to be a huge recycle view, tons and tons of items on there, which I don't think should be a problem. I mean, setting 1,000 items to a list doesn't take any time at all. Setting 1,000 items and creating 1,000 views takes forever. But since it's a recycler view, I would assume it's just updating the list behind the scenes, which is very fast, and then only updating the views that are on the screen, also very fast. So this should be a good way to do it. Okay, so let's do a little formatting in here. And let's try and do it from I think a constraint layout would be an interesting way to do it, but Yeah, because we need like padding and all this other stuff. It's going to be a lot faster, I think, to do it as an actual layout. So, completed trade. Is constraint layout really not the... Are you going to complain about constraint layout, or are you okay with it? Let's see. It looks like not okay with it. What? How do I have this open? Where did you come from? Sneaky. Anywho. Okay, so to get constraint layout in here, I know we can just drag it out, so I guess I'll do that. Let's design. Is it that one? Nope. Google Advanced. I mean, it is a container, right? It's also a layout. Constraint layout. Yes, please add that library. So, for constraint layout and also for recycler view, if recycler view is not added, you can just find them on the design tab, try to add them, and then it'll add the import for you. And so that way you don't have to look it up, which saves a very small amount of time. All right, so now we can change this to be a constraint layout. Then we can get back to the design view and try and actually design something. So our constraint layout, properties. So first of all, layout, you don't use match parent, right? Wouldn't use match constraints. Right, let me... do I still have that open? Yeah, I do. So this is a cool blog post that teaches you how, or just about constraint layouts that I was actually looking at earlier today. And okay, match parent should not be used inside constraint layout at all. So we are not inside a constraint layout here, so I think we're okay with match parent. So keep these both to match parent because we want the constraint layout to be the whole screen. Not true. We want the layout height to be something that we've set, so like 50 dp. And that looks about right. Alrighty, so then we want 3 text views. What? Why do you have an underline? What's going on? Are you a special type of text view? Oh yes, you're an edit text. How is that plain text? Widgets. I guess it's under widgets. I want text view, not text. Of course, why would it be under text? Alright, text view. Get that centered. Bring out another text view. Get this guy over there. Bring out another text view. Get this guy over there. Click this one, give it an ID of price? No, size. Size text view. Oh, and let's give that some text of... Can I click over here? Size 100. Actually, since a lot of them are like weird numbers, let's do 53 point some, and then a lot of them end in like that many zeros, so that'll be a good, that's a better text to show there. So it's text, or size, price, time, which I don't know that we want to show time at the moment, because it's not that important as long as we have the sequence ordering. I mean, I'd like it to be in there eventually, but it's just not something I want to do right now. So text view, the middle one is price. No, yes, price. Text view. Let's delete that one. That is the ID. Alright, and then for text, let's call this one, was it like 332 point, something like that. Okay, then let's grab this guy, put him over here. Put you over here. Then we can change the text color based on which one it is as well. Actually, let's we can go ahead and do the time. That's okay. We'll do it. Or at least leave our text view in there. Time text view. So then 11:30, which is not what it looks like on the thing, but whatever. Alright, so I'm going to look back over here because there's some cool GIFs or GIFs that show some stuff. Where's the one that centers things? Is that it? Haha, center. So is this how it works? Do that. Wow, nice. There's a lot of stuff here. So center vertically. Cool. Center horizontally. Nice. Okay. Alright, so let's just go with this for now. And then take it. So to get this constraint layout, let's do I have the Anko docs open? I think I do. What we're looking for in here is, I think it's called import. No, it is not called import apparently. But I know it involves that. No, it doesn't involve that. Where? Oh, is this not the page? Have the docs moved? This is a much shorter page than it used to be. Okay, so we got to figure out how to bring that layout into our code, and there's an easy way to do it with Anko. Which I'm not sure why it's not being shown anymore. Huh. Okay, well, anywho, we want this to be our layout over here in our adapter. So instead of this stuff, we're gonna give it our layout, which we can do with just inflating it. I just feel like Anko, no? Just gonna Google something real quick. So let's go with Anko import view from XML. Oh, so is this where all that good documentation moved to? Is here? Box layout and layout params, listeners. Include, that's what it is. So does that mean I'm missing an import for this guy? Number of artifacts, support libraries, Yeah, so that should be how you do it right there. So include tag. That's what I want. Where are you from? Which Anko import do I need for that? Great, I'll open up the module here. As far as Anko imports go, we've got regular Anko SDK and Anko recycler view. Let's give that guy a shot. That should be it. I mean, it's not recycling. It could be commons. Could be commons. Or actually, would it be parent.include because it needs a context? Yes! Alright, so I don't know that we need that import, actually. It was just that you need a context. And so, yeah, interesting that I was espousing the need for needing to do Anko stuff inside of a context, and then here it comes to bite me in the butt. But so just keep that in mind when you're trying to do stuff with Anko, is that you need to do things in the context of a view group or a layout or something, or for a lot of the stuff. So include layout, and this is a constraint layout. r.id. Wait, r.layout probably, right? Yes. r.layout. Ah, man, what's it called? Completed trade. Okay. And that should do it. And then instead of these, we need r.id.size text view, r.id.price text view, .id.time text view. Then we don't need this to string anymore. And okay. So actually, this isn't that much shorter than using a layout inflator, which would be the normal way to do it. But I think it is shorter, and I feel cool for using Anko, so hey. Alright, let's run this, and I think we should see this work. I mean, obviously I don't think I missed anything, but you don't really know that you didn't miss anything until after it's popped up. Come on. Come on. Put this over here so we can look at the... Hey, look at that. It was there briefly. Can you give us the trade finish window over here? There we go. So, are we logging? Jump to the bottom. Yes, there's at least 2, 3 that have been logged. Yep, cool. And... ooh, there a bunch of stuff comes in. 0.8, 2.0. And this formatting is weird. It's not lined up like we'd like it to be. We still got to do a little work to get it to look like this. And I'm trying to look over here and look over there and find matches, but I'm not seeing much. It's 1822. No, what? 1822. That's a ways behind, isn't it? This is on 23. It stopped. Did we get an error? What happened? What happened? We don't even have an error of our app. Yeah, let's GDAX this. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's true. Root view was removed because it got killed. Oh, fun. So we got an error on our recycler view that is not in any way related to code that we wrote. Cool. I'm not sure what to do about that, other than run it again and see if we get a better error. So I'll hit run there, and obviously we want to look back at trade. Let's also bring in the side here. And let's call this is by Boolean. Then where do we use this? We use it right here. trades we need now. It dot alright, side. Oh, we actually want this to be if it dot side is equal to by, and that'll put in the Boolean value we need. This is not an expression, really. Oh, we don't need if. Sorry. Alright, so that'll bring in the by side, and what that lets us do should be to color things. Did you fail yet? No, but you only have 2 entries. That doesn't make sense. So now that we have that, if we come into our adapter, what text changes color? It is the price that changes color. So let's grab the price text view. Price text view dot. And you know what? Let's change our background to this gray too. How can we do that? So print screen. Yeah, sure. Grab that guy. Okay, so I mean, save it wherever. Then, nope, that's my face. So this guy, open with, I'd think GIMP would do it. Then from GIMP, I can grab this guy and do that, right? And then you'll tell me what color that is. What color are you? There we go. It is that. That is the color of the background. So let's update. I'm going to update the background to be that color, which is main activity, inside our relative layout, background, color equals do you like it like that? Okay. Got a few more trades, but there's still not much there, especially for as many trades are going on. Alright, so that changes that background color. Then let's change the text color. Cancel. Cancel. To this color. And so that's going to be that first text color. So if we go over here into our completed trade layout file, let's pick this one and text color. One second to click in there. Is that the right color? That looks not like the same color. Ah, yes. Hashtag is what we were looking for, not 0x. Alright, then let me grab this color. So, got that guy, and we're going to get this one. Give you that color. And to get back in main activity, let's see. Just going to do it like this. Color dot import the color cast, please. Color dot and parse color, and then we can do, oops, should have had the right color on the clipboard. So copy this color, then I'm going to Control Shift Z to redo all this back, and then paste in the right color. And then that's going to update our background color to be the background color we see in GDAX. And right, we don't need to update that text color yet, but back over here, did we get this color right? We did. So we've got that color, got this color, got the background color. We need to change the text color of the actual trade itself. So let's do price text view dot text color and set it equal to if trade dot trade dot is by, then we'll do, yikes, let me go back to over here. Okay, then we'll do, we've got to do different colors for the part before the decimal and after. We're not going to do that right now, but let's grab these brighter colors. So this one is that. I don't want to define this color everywhere, so I'm just going to define these colors up here. Actually, they're probably wider used colors than that, so maybe I'll just put them at EXTs, so they'll be just globally available. So val green equals, and again, if we have more greens, we'll rename this stuff, but for now we'll just equal color dot parse color, then that green, and then val red equals color dot parse color. Then we need to grab the red color right there, get this guy, paste them in here, and then now that we've got red and green, we can come into our adapter, and if the trade is a buy, we want this to be green, else we want it to be red. And isn't that just some awesome readable code? I love that. So let's see if this works now. And it's still going to look awful because the spacing between everything is really bad. But what we should have is colors. Like a background color and all of our text colors being right. So it should start to look a lot closer to what we have over here. Let's grab this over here so we can have them side by side. Aha! There we go. So it's cool how just having this darker gray, or it's even a little bluish, just to match this, it already looks just a lot better. And we can see that the time string is just really killing us here as far as just what, just space usage. So let's try and fix that right now. 1832, that's closer. 1832, 12 though, we're a little past 12. Can I scroll down to 12? No, I can't even scroll down to 12. So we're still not to the point where we're seeing this match over with this, but we're getting there. And it's starting to look better too. Now, did we scroll down or did we lose our title bar somehow? That's interesting. There we go, so we crashed again. But first, before we figure out whatever that crash is, which I guess I should get the cursor on it. Damn it, same thing. So, let's first deal with our text being super, super long. So trade.time dot substring after, and let's do after a t, because there's a t in there, right? Time. So we want substring after t, and then up to this dot. So let's grab the substring after the t. So then this bit is going to give us this part. And then so after this, we're going to do substring before a period. So substring before and a dot. And then just to check, I want to see if there's a substring between. No, there is not. Okay, so running this now, we should still hit that weird recycler view error, and we'll have to look up what's going on there. But I think our text should stay where we had it before. I'm hoping it does. Let's see, so mostly because we've now made the time text much smaller. Yes, there we go. Why are we not using the whole screen? So I'm going to pull this guy down, come into settings, go to the bottom of settings, developer options, which if you don't have it on, I think you tap the about emulated part 7 times or something. That'd be an easy thing to Google to figure out how to turn it on. But you turn on developer mode, and then in here, under view or layout or something, maybe I already missed it. Ah, okay. Sorry, emulators are always a little bit difficult to deal with. Show layout bounds. So, click this guy, then we get all sorts of layout bounds. Recent app button, pop back into our app here, and it looks like they are just this wide. So we want these to be wider. You know, this needs to be the width of the screen. So why is it not doing that? Back here in completed trade, your layout width is wrap content. I swear we set that to match parent. And why does that, wait a minute. I'm in the text view. So wrap content is correct. The text view should be that. And can I select the constraint layout itself? Yeah, its layout width is match parent. So I think the issue here is that its parent, which the constraint layout's parent is the relative layout, it's actually the recycler view. It's the recycler view is not match parent. So let's do recycler view, and then remember this is a layout parameter, so we want to come down here and do lparams, and then with Kotlin you can just name your parameters. So we can do width equals match parent. And also width is the first one, so we don't really have to name it, but we can. And it's spelled like that if you want to make the Anko one. And so this is just, if we control V into that, it's just the match parent constant. It's just a shorter version. And this is a cool thing about Anko. You can control V into anything and just kind of look at it, and it's all right there. It's nothing special. I mean, it's special in that it's really complicated and really cool code, but it's not hidden from you. So let's set that to match parent, then run this again, and I think we should be good to go. Hey, that looked good before it jumped out to the click me button, which I think we can get rid of now, actually. I mean, it's nice to have a way to debug, though, so, it's not hurting anyone. Let's come into our Android monitor, and while that's getting going, let's close this, and I want to find that error again so I can Google it. Yeah, what is this all about? Okay, how do I have animate layout changes set to true? Is that the default, perhaps? We pin the issue. Hey. Alright, well, we'll try setting animate layout changes to false and see if we still get the error. Did we get the error again, though? Right? We should have. Aha, cool. So here is everything slightly better spaced out now that we've got our recycler view with the width of match parent. So with our recycler view having a width of match parent, then everything inside it, our constraint layouts, which are each the individual rows, can also have a width of match parent that's the whole screen instead of just the half we were getting before. Yep, and then we want to do a little work, so let's pad, where is my data here? Right, so we want to pad this with zeros, all these numbers with zeros to be the same length. And really, they've lined up the decimal point there, so we'll have to do that as well, but I'm hoping that this will crash so we can get our error again. There's a match. Yeah, it's not printing out all the matches anymore. Maybe that's what's taking it so long. Let's not print the matches. That's not a good idea. Alright, we're running. And then I'll actually, once this is up and running, I'll leave and turn off the showing layout bounds. We don't need that on anymore. We've figured out the problem. But that is probably my most used developer option. It's just really, really helpful to be able to see all the layout stuff. It's like turning on blueprint mode for your phone. So blueprint mode from the layout tab there. Alright, back in the GDAX app here. Not a lot happening, which is totally a lie, right? There is stuff happening. Oh, I guess I guess there was 5 seconds between something happening there. Alright, there we go. That's 1840. That's still a little slow. I wonder, but we can see those trades, right? Alright, 1840, 32, right here, 8.99. Did we get that one? Yes, we did. And before it was a 21, and before it was 0.5. Okay, so these 3 trades are right here. And the side is wrong. They should be green. Okay, I can fix that. So is buy is apparently right now is sell. Right, because that goes to the other side. So if we jump to this, so its side equals sell. So remember from the docs, the side that's in here for the trade is actually the side that was already on the order books. So it's the other side that took the order. So to get the coloring right, we can just do that. That should give us the right colors. And then we can start thinking about how to get our text to be the right size. So let's come into my adapter. And is it the size that's causing the most issue? I think it is, because the price is almost, actually it will be always the same size unless we get somehow below 100 or above 1,000. So it's this trade size that's really causing the issue. So to fix this, let's start with sort of a naive solution of just padding out zeros until it's a certain size. Cool, so there we go, 1842.36, right here. And that totally matches, the colors are right, it's just the spacing that's off. Let's just sit here for a second. I want to see one more pop in. Because it's weird that we're missing some. Okay, there we go. Up to 1842.45 with 304.05 right to there. Yeah, okay, so that was all the 45-second ones. So I guess now we'll get all the 48-second ones in the next update. I wonder if maybe we're yep, there's the 48 ones, right? Is that all of them? Up to 3561. Yeah, so okay, so I guess it's sending us updates as it gets them. So let's, and here to get we can .pad end, and we can pad the end to make sure that they're all the same length. So what's a length in here that's good? So 1, 2, those are really long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go with 10. So pad it to 10 and pad it with zeros. Why do you not want a string there? Oh, you want a character. Okay, so there. So if you do it in 2 quotes like this, you're creating a string, and if you do it in single quotes, you're creating a character. And so this is just going to pad the end of our size string to be 10 long. So all of our sizes should be of length 10, which should help for our spacing. What it won't do is it won't pull these decimal points to be all in the right spot. So we're not quite there as far as spacing goes. And obviously we don't have the arrows over here too. I guess we could get those too. And actually we could just like cut those out of this since the background color is the same and put a little image view after. I don't know that we need to do that, but alright, this run. Okay, everything is lined up really nicely there. That looks great. So final touches, I guess, would be to put in this bar over on the left, which remember has a little bit of width to it when there's a big order coming through. And if we could see one of these sizes have double digits, so like 10 or 15, I don't think the decimal points should line up, but I want to see if they do. So let's find out. Come on, somebody buy more than, or sell more than 10 ether here. And again, we have lost our title bar somehow, and I don't know where it went or how we lost it, or why I can't scroll up. Oh, we got our crash. Cool. Same crash, right? I guess. It doesn't even. There's no error. Okay, here's the error. Yep. So let's try that first fix that we saw, which was animate layout changes to false. So to do that, we should be able to just come in here to our recycler view, wherever you are, recycler view, and since that should be an inherent property of the recycler view, it's going to go between these two brackets. So animate. Okay. Guess I need to look. There's a lot of those. What was this called? Animate layout changes. Alright, maybe you are not an inherent property of the recycle view, maybe it's a layout parameter. Animate. Animation cache enabled. Animate layout changes. What does that even mean? Animate. Alright, so let's look for recycler view, animate layout changes. You know, if this was a method of recycler view, we should get a reference, like to the docs, which we don't have. Huh. So what does this person do? Animate layout changes. So, okay, it's in their linear layout. That's weird. Alright, maybe it needs to be out here. Yeah, no, I don't. Okay, that answer may not be possible. Okay, wait, actually, that didn't work. Okay. Actually, okay, so that last sentence is pretty helpful. Actually, that is the only change that was needed in the end for this issue to go away. So focusable and touch mode is true. Okay. Is focusable and touch mode equals true? Sure. We'll try that. And we see what happens with it. Though I'm not really optimistic. Layout changes from that property. Oh, that would be really interesting if the Anko implementation does not have this part, then that could be what's causing the error. Alright, we can grab the inflator, and we can use that if we need to. I'm really not convinced this is focusable and touch mode is going to work. Though, actually, let's try and dig through the code for Anko real quick. So this include is going to do layout inflator, inflate, and let's, oh, can I paste my code there? No, because this is a locked class. So whatever I just copied was this, inflate, boolean attached to root, which we want to have false, of course. So include would be presumably this calls this, which calls this, which is this, which calls layout inflator dot inflate, and does pass false n for the attached to root parameter. So this should, I mean, this should be correct. There's not, I don't think Anko's doing anything it shouldn't be. This is what we want for that third parameter. And so again, another thing we can see here is this, when I was talking earlier that we could use layout inflator, use a layout inflator in the inflate method to add our view here. It turns out that that's literally what Anko is doing with this include method. So that's happening behind the scenes. So it's still happening, it's just do it in a slightly shorter way. Alright, this is running. It looks really good. There, 100. That is more than 10. So we can see our decimal points are not aligned. And I don't think we'll be able to fix that today. But I think I'm going to spend the rest of the time trying to figure out what is going on with that error and why we are getting it. So I'm going to start with just reading it again. So, a legal argument exception. So we're passing in something that we can't. Scrapped or attached views may not be recycled. So we have a view that is attached that cannot be recycled. And we know it's not attached to root because, again, that parameter is false. So it's not attached to the root, so which means, you know, it's attached where it should be attached, probably to the recycler view. But if we click into recycler view, this is probably not going to be helpful at all. But this is where the error is happening. So if holder dot is scrap or holder dot item view dot get parent is not equal to null, so perhaps one of the views still has parent when it's trying to reset it, and that would give us this error. So I'm still unclear why that would be giving us the error. And this has just been running fine, so, oh, there we go. Cool. So is it when I start scrolling? Let's run that again. That would be something remarkable if it only causes the error when I'm scrolling. Start scrolling. We might as well pull up the view as well so we can look at the trades come in, see how close we are to the real thing. 99, 1852, so it's still, actually we're not too far behind. That 52, that's right there. So we're getting there. Yeah, 5302. Wait, what? Yeah, 5302. Yep, that all looks good. Alright, so scroll. Yes! It is scrolling. Alright, so we've got a little more information, I think, about our error here. So I'm just gonna type scrolling in front of it and see what we get. Hey, that's from very recently. Usually a good sign. And he's got a recycler view. And he's doing some real basic stuff. Get item ID in your adapter is my get item ID is not a method you do in the adapter. Hey, that's a good thought. Layout manager dot set item prefetch enabled to false. So we can come in here, grab our layout manager, and again, I think I'm gonna have to. So val my layout manager equals, and we'll just copy over my layout manager. And we can paste it in there, or not paste type, and then we can set item prefetch enabled to false. My layout manager dot set item is item prefetch enabled equals false. And we can safely say that this was not the fix, so bye-bye. Alright, run it again, and then once we've got some stuff, we'll start scrolling, and we should see the error again, or not if it fixed it. That'd be awesome. Okay, we got a trade, and I can't scroll. Nothing to scroll yet. Looks like we gotta wait till it's the whole screen. So something, which makes sense because there's there's no recycling going on until it's the whole screen. So there's nothing to cause the error yet. So now that it's the whole screen, and we know there's more because the first one was green. Yep, we should be able to make you barf. Actually, this is scrolling a lot smoother than it ever was before, so I am optimistic. I'm very optimistic here. Nope, we want this guy. Price tab, bring this guy over. 56.29. This guy, yep, yeah. Okay, so alright, scroll a bunch more. You know what, I think that fixed it. That might have done it. Alright, so we have pulled in all of the data on this screen behind us into a database, or rather all of the live data. So as soon as we turn the app on, it starts pulling in all the data into the database. And to be, I guess, a little more clear, as soon as we turn the app on, the first thing it does is it deletes the data in the database. So we start with a fresh slate every time. And I guess with 3 minutes left, this is the recap before we stop. So what we do when the app runs is we delete everything in our 5 tables. Give us a clean start. Then we come into our relative layout, set the background color, set up our recycler view, and get it set up with this really cool, what was this called? The live data stuff. So this load matched order sync returns a live data object. So we come in here. This gives us live data of a list of match orders. And then Control Tab, jump back over here. We can observe on that using an observer and our lifecycle activity, which means we can use it as the first parameter. So this is a lifecycle aware component. And then we have the observer, which for every new thing that goes into that table, we're going to grab all the trades. We're going to clear our adapter, add all the trades back in, and then notify that we've changed the data set. And then if we click the button, we'll print it all out to the monitor down here, which we're not doing right now. Oh, go away. And then, are we still scrolling? Yes. Look at that. Just scroll so much. Awesome. So I think we can also officially say that the fix to, lots to scroll up to here. So officially the fix to whatever our issue was with it when we would scroll that it wouldn't work is this setting is item prefetch enabled to false for the layout manager. And let's look back at that Stack Overflow answer to see if there's any sort of... No, there's not really an explanation for why that's what we need to do, but hey, that's what it was. So as usual, Stack Overflow saves the day from some confusing stuff that we don't understand. And pull that back up. Sorry, emulator back. 57. Wait, that's awfully far back. Are we still updating? So we're a full 2 minutes behind over here. And I don't think we should be behind. It should keep updating. Hey, go to the top. 57:17. Alright, so whether that updates or not, we have made a ton of progress here today. So before, at the start of today, there was nothing going on here. We didn't have any sort of UI at all. And now we've got all these colors, they're all right, everything's matching, and we've just got it looking pretty. And just for a quick recap on the colors, since I know that's not part of the Android stuff that we normally think of, but it is sort of a something you need to know. So what I did is I grabbed a screenshot just of this section over here. Then I opened it in a program called GIMP. And GIMP is basically Photoshop, but free. And I mean, it's not as robust as Photoshop or easy to use as Photoshop, but it's pretty easy to use. It's free software. It does a lot of what Photoshop does. So I just opened it over here. Then you pick this little ink drop tool. And what this tool does is it gives you the color picker. So then you pick what color you want, say this color right here, and it puts that color onto your palette right there. So if you use another tool like this paintbrush, you can paint with that color. So you can just, this one didn't happen. But also, you can click over here, and it'll tell you what the color is. So then once you've got the color, you can just use it. And that makes it really easy for us to just have the same look and feel as the GDAX web app and our actual app. So if you're making something for a company or something where you've got a defined color scheme to use, you can always just grab the right colors straight from the web page. Alright, so I think that wraps it up for today. Next week we will go from here. I think probably the first step will be to get our decimal points lined up and get the little bar over here. So see how we've got red and green, and if we can find a bigger trade there. So 99, this one made a little bump in that green bar there. So next week we'll try to get this in. We'll get our decimal points lined up. We'll finish this trade history section and maybe even add a little thing up top like that. And once we finish the trade history section, we'll move on to start looking at these other sections and get back to creating a live order book and some more of just what's going on behind the emulator here. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to doing this again next week.